Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and I am here with some more vintage finds. Stay tuned. Hey guys, how are you doing? How's your day been so far? I'm in the middle of a filming frenzy, so the fam is out playing games, and I mean like Pokemon, and I don't play Pokemon. So they're out doing that, so that gives me a chance to do my thing. Hey. Oh, sorry, I've got a cat that came up and is trying to lick. Stop it. Oh, darn it, am I gonna have to start this over? I need to get her to stop eating the plastic bag. Plastic is not food. Okay, I think she stopped. So, if you watched my last video, I showed you some punches, die cut punches, whatever you want to call them, from Amazon. And I couldn't find the examples that I had done. Well, I found them. I sell grocery stamps in my shop, and I had some leftover, I had some leftover paper from some of those grocery stamp books, and so I just cut them out. So you can use any kind of paper. Obviously you could use nice scrapbook paper, or if you're trying to be more into the vintage original space like I'm hoping to someday be if I get enough stock, then you can use your cutoffs, because a lot of times when people put pages in their signatures, they might have to cut off an edge or something to get it to fit. So there's always ways to use up that paper. And I also did some with the little one, and sorry, a message just popped down from somebody that just watched the video that I had published today. So sorry, I got distracted. But anyway, put them together and make yourself some little clusters or whatever. So I just wanted to show that since I found it. And I hadn't seen it because they were sitting on top of this. If you have not been to the Dollar Tree recently, they now have these sets of postcards in the store. So let me just open one of these. So Fun Foods is one, and Pastel Preppy, Good Vibes. Oh, just Good Vibes. Maybe I'll open that one. Oh no, let's open this one. Or Jet Set. Now this Jet Set one is really very similar to one that I got off of Temu. Very similar. It's not exact, but it's very similar. Does it say how many come in the pack? 30. And so this is not vintage, obviously. And this one, some of these were damaged. So like this one, you can see it's damaged up there at the top. But it's like posters. Do they all say posters? Yeah, that says posters. Yeah, so they're replica posters, but they're in postcard size. They're all super glossy, which is not as exciting for me, but they're still neat. And this is a pretty good price. Well, shoot, I'm assuming they're in the what now, the $1.50 price section, but I guess I don't know because Jason and Galia got these for me, so I guess I shouldn't say, but for 30, that's still a good price and great for junk journaling, crafting, all kinds of stuff. There's probably some of these that I won't be as interested to use, so they may end up in freebie packs for orders. That's terrible. It's like, I don't like it, so let's give it away as a freebie. But why not? Somebody else will like it. But anyway, so I got those. And when I find Peter Rabbit books that are illustrated by Beatrix Potter, I pick them up if I can. So I found this one. This one is a bit bigger than the kind of standard small ones that I particularly love. This one is from it doesn't say what year it's from. Well, shoot. You know what? This is, if you saw my last video, I had a Raggedy Ann and Andy book. This is the same publisher, so I guess they don't put dates in it, but it's got a really pretty patina. It's kind of hard to see on the frame. It's a little bit darker in real life, and I just love all the Beatrix Potter. So I'm collecting these books. I'm collecting the small ones, and once I get a second of the small one, then it can go and be used in crafts. I haven't decided, I guess, what I'll do with this one. I can't just keep every book I find, so this one will probably get, unless I can figure out what the year is on this and it turns out to be a lot older than the ones I have, I might keep it for age sake, as a collectible item maybe. And then I found these little hairstyle books. Would that be like the late 60s, early 70s? Let's see. Oh, all new 1967 edition. At least this one. And this one, does it say? I don't see a year on this one, but we've got, let's make this my thumbnail so we get this out of the way early. All right, so is it part of a whole series? Oh, it is. It's part of a whole series of Dell purse books. These are important things to have in your purse now, especially 100 Meals in Minutes or James Beard's Creative Cooking. You definitely want a purse copy of that. Teenagers Hairdos, 5th edition. Furniture Finishing and Refinishing. Handwriting Analysis. So, okay, you guys, and these are all numbered. This one is number 7770. Does that mean they have 7,000 different titles? I mean, all of these titles have numbers on them. Wow. But isn't this fantastic? These are going to be great in journals. They're a great size. You put yourself some, well, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't want to cover up the back. I was going to say you can put some vintage paper on the back so people can write and then just see the picture, but I don't know, maybe they'd really like to still see the back of this, and maybe it would just be a ephemera piece. But yeah, I thought those were super fun, so I had to pick those up. But yeah, I don't know what day of the week this will air, so if it's a work day, how did your day go? I can imagine how mine is going. It's been pretty similar, same old, which is why I'm trying to ramp up my Etsy business. I found a pack of bingo cards. How many bingo cards do I need? You guys, I have a listing You guys, okay, so let's be real here, right? So I spent all this money to buy all of these products to sell on my Etsy shop, to use in my crafting. The crafting part hasn't quite started yet because I don't have access to the filming space that I'm going to be using. Sorry, I'm noticing that I'm super shiny. The film space that I'm going to be using, where I need my Candy Bella. But so anyway, you know, I'm buying all of this inventory. But I said I was going to keep it real with you guys and how the business was going, because a lot of you were, of course, concerned that why would I spend all this money in a time when my real job is a little dicier than I'd like it to be. And ultimately, it's because I want to be in business for myself. I don't want to have these periods of time where I'm worried that I'm going to, that my job will cease to exist, kind of thing. But what does that look like in real life when you're trying to start a business? It's hard to start your own business, and especially a business like this that's built on reselling ephemera in some way, shape, or form, because ephemera by its very nature is not supposed to last. It's not supposed to, nobody was supposed to have kept these long term, right? And so that's a very niche market. And even though I'm also supplementing that with my digital business, it's hard to find customers. And I've kind of put all my eggs in one basket, in that I've picked Etsy as my main store, although I do have a store and whatnot. But I could have picked eBay. eBay probably has more viewers, but it's probably would be harder to find people that like this kind of stuff. So anyway, I was showing you bingo cards. How many bingo cards do I need? Well, I have in my shop a mega bingo pack that's got, I don't know how many different bingo cards, because a lot of people will just resell like a set of 6 of these, you know, and I may get to that point too, but I like bingo cards and I like variety, so I have a set on my shop, but I haven't sold any yet. And you know, of course, because of the egomaniac I am, I think everything that I put in my shop is fantastic and that people will immediately flock to it and buy it, right? That's kind of maybe typical with entrepreneurs, that you kind of have to think like that in order to proceed and not give up. But the reality of it is that I don't even know if that listing has gotten any views. I mean, I could look in my Etsy seller tab, but the only advertising I'm doing is on Instagram and TikTok, and I don't have many views on either one of those platforms. So it's a hard road, and it's probably overall will be a colossal failure. I mean, that's kind of unfortunately sometimes how I feel, but I still want to do it. I don't want to give up. And if anything that this channel has taught me, it's taught me that I can do something without giving up. I've had this channel now for over 2 years, and that's probably the longest I've stuck with a hobby. So that's giving me the feeling like I can do more things. So if that means buying 45 more of these cards at a time. Now, you guys, I've only got one thing left to buy before the spending freeze. And I told you this, I think, a few videos ago. And there's a Daphne's Diary magazine that I want to get from Barnes & Noble. And I did go to Barnes & Noble, and I did get some things, but they had a deal where it was buy one magazine, get one half off. And they had some new paper books, which are $35 a piece. So I didn't want to get, because they had 2, so I was getting those, and I knew if I got the Daphne's Diary, which is only $17, that's the one they would give me the half price on. So I didn't buy it. So I told Jason at the time, I was like, I reserve the right to get this magazine at a later date before the spending freeze. So, but yeah, after I get that, the only things I can buy are things that I've earned through selling. Because a certain percentage of what I sell will go back, get recycled back into the business, like 15 to 20%. Because like 70% has to go for debt, and 10% goes to my charity. So my Junk for Goats, I buy goats from Compassion International for families in need. And I'm saying all this stuff, and you guys are going to get a commercial for this later. Sorry. Okay, so I bought some. Why did I buy these? I don't know. I don't even know if these are like the vintage ones, or if these are the ones you could go right now to Dollar Tree and buy. But I picked them up anyway. And you guys, I saw a crafter just yesterday. Let me see if I can open. There's always staples in these Ziploc bags so that you can't open them in the store. But let me see if I can get the staple out. I watched a lot of people do crafting videos on TikTok. So once I finally start doing the crafting videos, I need to publish them multiple places so that people will find out about me. But anyway, I watched somebody take, do I have a paper clip? So they were making paper clips with a paper clip. But so they would take one of these, they'd put the paper clip it to one side so that part of the paper clip was still sticking out. And maybe, I don't know which side they did. It didn't really matter. And then they glued it shut so that it was stuck. And then they collaged the front of this with scrap paper. Or, you know, you could even, you know, put this kind of stuff on it. And then once they were done, they had this cool kind of collage on a paper clip. And I was not thinking about that when I bought these, but that I think would be a great use of these. But some people would take them apart at the seam, which you can't see on camera, and make a tuck spot or add some journaling paper to the back of it, etc. Now I didn't need to buy these because I did buy a whole bunch of these from a Salvation Army, but they were, stop it, they were like not flat like this. So I don't know if they were used because they were kind of round already. So anyway, those are in my son's room where we put everything to get the living room back in order. So, and all of my Litchfield mystery boxes are sitting in front of that. But I can't do another Litchfield mystery box until I get the old ones out of the living room. You guys, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. This is why nobody in my family likes this hobby that I'm trying to turn into a business. All right, what else do we have? I found this in a Salvation Army with lots of different iterations of recipe cards. Like there's only, I think these are the ones my mom had because this size is very familiar. 1971 General Mills. So there's some like that. Then there's, oh, well, there are more of these little ones. But I just love these. These are great for putting in journals, especially because I'm going to be doing cinch bound. So you'll be able to see all of it. These are harder, would be harder to use in sewn signatures. I mean, you could tip it in with washi tape or whatever, or obviously you could just stick it in a pocket. So just several different kind of versions of these recipe cards, which I thought was neat. And then of course in the back there's like super big ones. And because they were at the Salvation Army, they were really cheap. But here's an example of the big ones. And these are probably not very, well, they're old enough to still be using Roman numerals. So we've got 1998 on these big ones. Oh, strawberry shortcake. Yum. So if I really want to do a strawberry themed journal so I can use some of my strawberry shortcake stuff. So this would be perfect for that. And who does a strawberry themed journal? Like I've never seen anybody do that. I see, well, I'm gonna hopefully do a birds journal and I'd like to do a train themed journal. And people do fairy journals, and obviously Halloween's coming up, so Halloween journals. But yeah, I want to do a strawberry themed journal. I think that would be fun. I like picking up these dictionaries. These are great for collage work. Oh, and they had some napkins, which I thought I could add to my napkin pack that I'm gonna hopefully list on my shop some point soon, because these are great for decoupaging on paper. And then okay, well, I got a decorating kit. I don't remember picking this out. So I wonder if this was somebody else in the family got this. This doesn't really look like the kind of thing I would have picked. But you've got a cute elephant. But I don't know who else would have picked this out. Maybe I got it because it looks like it's got a bunch of like little pieces. So maybe I picked it out for that. But it's been long enough that I don't remember. So, okay, well, anyway. Then I brought a few books in to show you that I'd gotten from Half Price Books. Whenever I go to Half Price Books, I always find stuff, and I've now started even looking in a new section for the collector guides, price guide books, because those can have some great pictures. Like I have a couple listings in my shop right now. One is a soda pop collection that I've fussy cut out so that they're ready to use for whatever craft or symbols upon them. And I've got one that had little images of sheet music covers, and those are really cool. So I look in that section now. I always look in the flower and garden section, and I always look in the science section because there's usually birds, insects, butterflies, and sometimes wildflowers in that section too. And I always look in the map book section in case they have any Hammond atlases, because I love those. But whenever Jason's always amazed that I can find books in the plant flower section that I've never found before, which is the case with a lot of these. So I found the Plant Buyer's Directory. It's a nice size, and look at that, you guys. Illustrations are my preference. And yeah, I could cut these in half to get 2 cards out of them, or I could leave them as is and fold them to make a little booklet. But yeah, it's absolutely chock full of these flower images. So I loved that, and it was only $5.49, which is a really good price for that. And then this one was $5.99, the Old Fashioned Cutting Garden. And I'm getting better at knowing which books are most likely going to have photographs versus illustrations. But it still can be deceptive because you can see illustrations on the outside of the book and photos on the inside and vice versa. But I've been trying to, like, I saw the edge of this and I was like, this looks kind of old and vintagey, and it's got a great cover page, so that's why I picked this one up. And it's got just lots of, well, does it? Does it? Yeah. Just several of these kind of full page, almost pencil drawings. So, and it's got a lot of, you know, pages that don't, which those can then be used in making my envelopes that I make, or my pockets that I make to put freebies and stuff in. But yeah, so I like finding pencil drawings too. And then this one I thought might be kind of Edith Holden-ish, but I wasn't sure, so I picked it up. But I thought it might have some, but it's got a lot of white space, but it's got these really neat drawings and illustrations that I thought would be super fun to craft with. I don't know, I'm probably not holding these close enough for you to see. I mean, even this back page would be great. So I thought that was a kind of a neat and different find. In and Out of the Garden. And then 75 Exciting Vegetables for Your Garden. I really liked the cover, so this may become a journal after I've harvested the stuff out of it. It was on the pricier side. But look. I mean, even that page is great. Okay, so there's more than, there is a lot of book page in here. That's beautiful. So I don't know how many well, I guess there's probably 75 images, so I'm not, because there's 75 exciting vegetables, and there is a picture of each of them in here. And I like that it's pretty much a full page with the name of what it is down here, and I don't think I found any that had a picture on the back too. So just some great illustrations. Illustrations by Ellen Buchert. And then Wild Edibles of Missouri. So I live in Missouri. This was $7.99. I found there's always Wildflowers of Missouri in these stores, but they don't have very good pictures. But it's got, you know, some pencil illustrations. Oh, I can't hold it that way very well. And some full color pages. They're a little glossy, but yeah, so there's this color section in here, but then the rest of the book, it's pencil illustration. So yeah, I love that. I love that so much. And then the last one, okay, the bag I brought in here is now fallen over. So this was in the collectible price guide section, Railroadiana. I didn't show these books already, did I? Probably. That's unfortunately how things go. Or sometimes I'll pull a book off of a stack just to show one book. I think I did show this book already. Or I dreamt it. But yeah, so I'll be looking forward to cutting these out. This one, I don't think, we didn't see any color pages in here, right? I much prefer the price guides that are colored. Oh, well, there is a few colored pages here in the middle. So, yeah. All right, so that was the books. Now I've got a bag of stuff. Well, actually, hang on. Hi, let me take a brief moment out of our video to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Junk for Goats. Junk for Goats is my business where I sell and resell vintage, antique, and some modern ephemera for all of your junk journaling or crafting needs. I have shops on Etsy, Whatnot, and I list my digital items on my coffee shop. All of the links for those are below in the description, so please check that out. It's also important to note that 10% of all the proceeds from my sales are used to purchase goats from Compassion International. Those goats are provided to families across the world to help them meet their own families' needs in terms of their diet, but they can also take and sell the milk and the cheese that they produce from their goats to their friends and family nearby, helping to provide them with a income source that is valuable in the areas in which they live. So if you would like to craft with a difference, please check out the description below. And as always, thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. All right, I'm trying to actually stop the video so it's easier for me to insert my commercial. Okay, now I've got a bag of stuff that's from a different creative reuse store than the one I've shown you before. And in that one, that particular creative reuse store normally sells by the pound, but the day we were in there, they were selling bags for $15. Grocery store bag. So as much as you could put in a grocery store bag, you only had to pay $15. So I got 2 bags. I brought one of them in here for this video. And I got this huge, I really, really, really like this pattern, this stripes. I think this would make awesome journal covers, and other things potentially. And there's a ton of it here, and it fit in the bag along with a bunch of other stuff. So I don't know what you'd pay for this out in the real world, but there were several of these that I could have gotten, but the other ones had patterns I just didn't care for. Like, this speaks to me. I love this. So for people that make journals out of cereal boxes and then cover them with fabric, like, so I'll probably get my pinking shears out, cut some pieces out to sell in my shop, and then hopefully I'll make a journal of my own with this at some point. And then I found this Roll-O-Matic bridge game, which I couldn't open in the shop, so I was kind of taking a chance, but I was hoping that there would be paper in it for my, I have a score sheet mega pack in my shop that also has not gotten any views. But I'm still collecting them. And so it looks like this. And it's a little bit different. How does this open? Like, I've gotten the auto bridge that I've shown you guys before, which just has pages that you can put in to in essence, play bridge by yourself. But this one, oh, this one's like got piano roll kind of paper in it. So I guess I'll just be taking this out and cutting pieces from it. But it's piano roll paper is kind of hard to work with for me because it's been curled for so long. And I don't know if you could put like a cloth over it and iron it to flatten it out. Maybe I'll try that with a small piece to see if it works. But yeah, I think this would be kind of the same thing. And then you get kind of a different kind of paper in your journal. But what I've determined with these creative reuse stores is they seem to be for the benefit of teachers. A lot of teachers donate their used items to these stores, and I think a lot of teachers go to these these stores to pick up stuff for their classrooms to get them for a really cheap rate. And so it came with a book. So a lot of the things are educational by nature, which can be really great, because I showed you in one video, I found a bunch of library cards, which was fantastic. But this one was a little bit different, because they had they were in the process of putting a lot of stuff in the front of the shop for teachers, because it was like the week before school was starting. And this shop didn't have air conditioning, so it just had like fans, and it was a super hot day we were in there, so we about died just from the heat. But I think I liked the first one that we went to better, which is good because it's a lot closer to where I live. This one was down in South County, so it took a while to get there. And the parking was on the street, and I don't like on the street parking very much. But they had a whole container of these sample card things. What are they called? I don't know. But these could be, well, that's not it. Some of these, so it's textured on some of these, but the back side is not. But these could make good tags. You could put, you know, paper and stuff on them so people can actually write on them. So I just picked up lots of different colors of those. There were also some that were a little bit smaller and thinner that I picked up. Okay, those are all more of the same. Some that were kind of, well, these are like the other ones I showed you. This P3 Tech, whatever company that is. They're not, I'm sure they're not like the cool retro ones that some people use, but that's okay. I think they also had a bin of paint chips, which, if you've heard me complain, Walmart now, all their paint chips are solid colors, and I haven't taken the time to go to like a Home Depot to get some that still have multiple colors on them. But I don't think I actually picked up any of those, which is surprising. Okay, these kind of places are also a great source for Avery labels. So these are like business card tents, which I thought would make great crafting cards. I could print on them, use my printables on them, or even collage on them with scrap paper. So I got 2 boxes of these. I got a box of, oh, I got 3 boxes, or 3 of these. I got some ivory business cards, printing labels. I got some, oh, these are more tent ones. Yep, more tent ones. I guess I'm just gonna be a tent card fool for a while. And then, okay, so it looks like most of them are business cards. I was thinking maybe I got some postcards, but no, they were all business cards, it looks like. So let's just see how big they are. But if you have a computer, you can go into Microsoft Word and go to mailings and labels, and you can pick out the specific label number, and
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
And then, sorry, that was Jason's device over there. Was not sure how she could help me with that if you didn't hear it. But then once you pick the label, it puts the template on the screen that you can fill out. But this is, it's all perforated so that you, it's kind of, it doesn't really show up on screen very well, does it? But anyway, those are typically, I've found a good place to find stuff like this, because why people buy so many of these and don't use them, I don't know. Maybe they needed them for a specific craft or activity in their classroom and then they just didn't need any more. But it's a, because these are not cheap to buy them from a Walmart or an Amazon. All right, this bag, because I have to fill it so tightly, it's going to be hard for me to get things out, I think. I'm going to make a mess. And I got subtraction bingo, because this fits two of my needs, which I love flashcards and I love bingo. And I like these ones because I have a time bingo card, and so it comes with cards that have clocks on them, which I think is neat. So this is kind of a similar bingo to it. Not old. 2006 maybe. Oh no, that's the item number. I'm always looking for the year because people put more value on things that are older. So anyway, there's that. Let's see what we have on the side over here. Oh, some like graph paper books. So just your basic, which is nice to put in journals because it gives lots of writing space. So it looks like they're all, oh, well, this one's different. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit different of a style. But again, graph paper can be expensive in the real world. It's also a good place to find doilies. And I mean, you know, you can get doilies at the Dollar Tree, but this gives me a little bit different, some variety. You can, these are great for coffee dyeing or tea dyeing. And I always look for the colored doilies there that are maybe in certain shapes or whatever. I also found a bunch of, they had a bin, like a few sewing bins, so I found some stamp cards and some fabric samples, which, okay, there's so many things you can do with this, but you can even just have it simply on a journal card as a hiding whatever's underneath. Like it could just be a screen guard. So some of those, just random, I think I found two of these in different spots in the shop, just kind of by themselves, which is weird. Found some of these. I left some behind, like I only picked up the ones that were still fully wrapped, brand new old stock, as they say. And then some more of these. But another thing, once Jason goes through his area and I have a space to start filming, it's also then going to free up some additional shelves for me downstairs so that I can start organizing all of these things and putting all of the doilies together, putting all of, you know, all of these things together so that I can actually find the stuff when we start to make some journals together. Okay, well, I did find some heart ones. This one's not. Why did I get this? I don't know, because when you're crafting, it doesn't really matter how, I mean, if I glue this down, it doesn't matter that it's folded, kind of thing. So, all right, these, you guys, I guess I went overboard on these things. I wish they would been a little bit older. Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's so many, and they're keeping me from getting to the other things in this bag. Okay, still can't pull that out. Now, see, I didn't even take them all. I don't even think I took half. That's the beauty of these creative reuse stores, is they're not packaged, like nobody takes the time to go through and put 10 of these things together, and no, they're just loose in a box kind of situation. And you take one, you take 50, you take them all, it doesn't matter if it fits in your bag, or if it was a by the pound day. Because the other place, well, the other place did it by the bag too, but they weighed it and recorded the weight of the bag, but they still only charged $15 for the bag. So I don't know. All right, I'm trying to dig out all of these cards. This is going to be a mess, trying to put all this back in here. Can I get this? Okay, good. I can get this out. So then I found it is ribbon dipped fruit gourmet chocolate. So I feel like this would be the kind of ribbon that would get used in chocolate gift boxes. And there's 4 of them in here, and they had like 3 or 4 of these. I only picked up one because I thought, how will I ever use all of this? But I thought that was cool, and I could use them as, you know, it's fairly thick. I could use them as closures or belly bands, or I could, you know, make them ribbon. Well, it is ribbon, but I could make them, you know, cut a carrot out, or a flag. What do you call it? The bottom of like the ribbons that's, you know, I don't know. I could do that with it. So it was different. The problem is I've got this bag to where the heavy labels are on the top now as it's sitting sideways. I don't know, maybe I just need to take them all out. That is going to be such a pain in the butt to pick this up later. Ooh, that almost fell on the floor. Okay. Then I found this, which, to be honest, I just wanted these. And I don't know if they're plastic. They are plastic. But, so that's why I picked these, because I thought these would be great if you, you know, wanted to put somebody's initials on something. They do appear to come in different colors. And I don't know, it's a game, so I don't know if the cards, like there's a spot to put these tiles. Have any of you seen this before? Well, okay, if I weren't holding it up, it would stick there. I feel like this is supposed to be dropping letters into place, but how do you... It looks like it should pop out if I have it here in the center, but it doesn't want to. I can tell there's stuff in here, but I don't know how to Okay, see back here? It looks like I should be able to pull it out when it's like this, but it doesn't want to go. Well, at some point, I need to figure out how to get the other ones out of here. But it looks like you would have had a little card, which you could make a journal cover out of this, either like this or cover it with something. It's a pretty decent thickness. But yeah, I may end up having to break it to get these other parts out, because it really should fit through there, and it doesn't. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up breaking this, and maybe that's why it was given away, because they couldn't figure out how to get it open. Or maybe I'll be smart and Google it and see if I can find how it's opened. Yeah, I don't know. I'm freaking the cats out by dropping all these things. Oh, and then there were some shiny doily, and then some of these cards. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was like crazy. Yeah, maybe I need to figure out some way that I'm gonna kind of personalize the journals that I sell, so that there's something personal of me in there. Maybe I should like figure out something to do with these, because then they can take it out or leave it in or whatever. Okay, and then I found this, which had even more. They're not the same as the other one. These almost, they're similar to Rack Rummy or Rummy Cube or whatever that is called. But what are these? Okay, well, somebody numbered. So maybe they had enough for everybody in the class to have like one. Okay, what are these? Okay, so the numbers look like that they're not evenly, they're not the same size, and they've got like felt on the back. So someone hand cut these from something, but yeah, they're just bags and bags of numbers. Missing 0, 1, and 8. So yeah, all I can figure is it was some sort of classroom activity. Well, okay. I gotta think of, you know, I've got a drill, so I could drill through that and add the numbers as a dangle to something. Or maybe I could make some paper clips with those. You know, glue those onto the front of a paper clip. Or tab toppers. I don't remember picking up this, but it was in the bag. So that might have been Jason's. All right, and then one of these. So that's everything I have to haul. Wow, this is gonna be a mess to clean this up before I do my next video. So let's, without further ado, I'm trying to say adieu, but no, without further ado, let's do our nostalgic TV trivia. All right, in what year was Walt Disney first telecast? What was the fire station number on the series Emergency? Who played Cheyenne? Which sitcom is a spin-off from NBC's Different Strokes? Name the cat who was always after Tweety. The sitcom Fish was a spin-off from what police sitcom? What character was played by Michael Ontkean on The Rookies? 5 actors have starred in the series as super sleuth Ellery Queen. Name the last. All right, in what year was Walt Disney first telecast? 1956. I don't know. What was the fire station number on the series Emergency? I don't know. I'm going to say 99 for some reason, but that's just a made-up number. Who played Cheyenne? Somebody named Cheyenne? I don't know. Which sitcom is a spin-off from NBC's Different Strokes? Well, I think that was Facts of Life, because I think that Mrs. Garrett was on Different Strokes. But wasn't Different Strokes a spin-off of something else? I don't know. Name the cat who was always after Tweety. Sylvester. The sitcom Fish was a spin-off from what police sitcom? Barney Miller. What character was played by Michael Ontkean on The Rookies? I don't know, but isn't The Rookies, isn't that the one that had Kate Jackson in it? 5 actors have starred in the series as super sleuth Ellery Queen. Name the last. No idea. So I think Jeremy Brett, but he did Sherlock Holmes, because I'm thinking Ellery Queen is kind of in that same time period. So let's see how we did. In what year was Walt Disney first telecast? Oh, 1954. I was so close. What was the fire station number on the series Emergency? It was 51. Who played Cheyenne? Clint Walker. Which sitcom is a spin-off from NBC's Different Strokes? The Facts of Life. Name the cat who was always after Tweety. It was Sylvester. The sitcom Fish was a spin-off from what police sitcom? Barney Miller. Was correct. What character was played by Michael Ontkean on The Rookies? Officer Willie Gillis. And 5 actors have starred in the series as super sleuth Ellery Queen. Name the last. The late Jim Hutton. How did you do? I got The Facts of Life, Sylvester, and Barney Miller. So I got 3. Well, that's better than the last card, so we won't complain. So let me know how you did in the comments, but I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you for watching this video and sticking with me post Temu. I do have a Temu video coming once the rest of it arrives. Some of it is coming. Most of it was local warehouse, because I just can't get it any other way, but a few of the items are coming from China. So that's what the holdup is. And it seems like the things that are coming from China, it used to be a 10-day, that's usually how long it used to take me, and it's taking longer than 10 days. So, but anyway, thank you for those of you that still watch, even though I don't do the Temu videos anymore. And hopefully you like looking at these vintage finds, and it's just a trip down nostalgia lane. But anyway, thank you for watching and subscribing and commenting and all the good things. And thank you to my members. And yeah, so wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.